Good evening, everyone. My name is Chris Cooper, known as the Channel Guy Trader, and I am reporting to you live from Wall Street Trading Satellite Office down in sunny South Florida. Today's date is Tuesday, November the 13th, 2012, and here is today's After the Bell Market Summary. Well, guys, I hope you guys had a very good day today. There was a lot of opportunities. We were hitting them left and right in the chat room. If you're in the chat room, you can vouch for that because we did pretty damn well today. We had some great calls. Everything was just working today. Yesterday was a slow day where we were basically not doing any trades at all, rarely in the morning as there were not any clean setups. But this morning, you turn your computer on, a lot of action, a lot of things to do, and we're going to talk about that here shortly. So let's go ahead and take a look to see how the indices traded today. The Dow Jones closed down 58.90. The NASDAQ closed down 20.37. The S&P 500 closed down 5.5. If we take a look at the breadth was in favor of the bears. We had 4,302 stocks declining. We had 1,903 stocks advancing on the NYSE, NASDAQ, and AMEX. So therefore, breadth was definitely in favor of the bears to the downside here. Again, we had 4,302 stocks declining, and we had 1,903 stocks advancing on the NYSE, NASDAQ, and AMEX. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the market on an intraday perspective because I was so busy today, I was not able to do a midday market update. And I want to first start by taking a look, just a real quick look at what took place intraday here and why we were positioning our traders in our channel room, why we were positioning traders in our trading room to alongside in the morning and getting them in the correct trades with the correct thesis and idea behind it. All right, so first of all, we have the ES trading in a range here overnight between 1367 and 1371. As you can see here, these are some key ranges that we were tracking this morning. This yellow range was here prior. This was just a key price action zone that has been acting relevant from the that was relevant for the previous days, and it's still relevant right now at the moment, as you can see. And the trade idea for the morning was basically to get long the market if we can hold above 1373, as we can get if we can hold above this little trend line from this little shaded area right here, the yellow area. And our target was back up there towards the high of that range, which was hit 1381, and we actually pushed high to 1386. Once we broke past this 1381 level, our target was 1388, and we actually see we hit a high of 1386.29. This on the right-hand side is just a 5-minute chart, which I don't have to go into that since this is just a midday, this is the after the bell market summary. Just wanted to show you guys what we were thinking going into the open. And the reason why we were looking to get long, if you guys are paying attention to the video that I did previously, I talked about how the dollar is in a rising wedge on the 60-minute chart, the dollar futures. All right. Well, this morning that rising wedge gave us some more clues here that it was kind of, that we're getting kind of near a topping pattern, possibly here in the dollar. And if it does not happen, well, we were able to partake in the opportunity to the weakness in the dollar, to the strength in the commodities, and into the markets today. If this does not play out, either way, you can take a look at the U.S. dollar was in my little proprietary channel system. You can see it was trading this little range right here. All right, overnight it broke above that range, sucked in some longs, and guess what, guys? My favorite pattern, if you guys know me, a nice little bull trap on the fake breakout. Selling pressure came in. That's exactly what we're looking for. So we were looking to get long commodities, and that played out pretty well. So we've got long the GLD. We got long some strong stocks this morning, such as Apple. What other trades we have here? The Michael Kors, we made a nice little trade. Since we were looking for a nice move on the top side, Michael Kors sold off $6 pre-market and then recovered $6. So that gave us a little clue that there was strength in that stock. They gave us a nice little dollar pop around the open. Another trader in our chat room called the ZA. I believe this trade called ZAZA. Zaza. That one worked out pretty well. That was a cheap one, though, but that one worked out pretty well. Stock was up well over 30% today. So a lot of ideas left and right that we were hitting, guys, and it's just good stuff. That's what you want to see. CLNE, we had that on our focus radar this morning. That one worked out pretty well, and we were just hitting it left and right. So let's go ahead and talk about this analysis here on the daily chart of the SPY, and bear with me if I went over a little bit too much stuff, I guess. I just want to give you guys a clue what we got going on and how we trade intraday and how we, make sure that we try to provide our traders with a good analysis to keep them in the game and to keep them on the right side of the market. So in any case here, the SPY opened up today at 137.54. It rallied all the way to a high of 139.25 where it got rejected from this declining 8-day exponential moving average right here. but also at the same time, it's came into this nice little resistance band zone that you can see that we have right here. As you guys heard me say this morning, the best opportunities right now in the market are to short the rallies. At the same time, you don't want to short the rallies at the low of the day when you still have a rally to take place and then short. So the SPY going forward for tomorrow, if we break, I don't like how obviously we don't like how the market reversed today off its gains. But if we break to below today's lows on the SPY, which is 137.36, we should be expecting the SPY to hit this 136.64 level. We break below that, then we're looking at 135.58. If we trade back to the top side tomorrow in a attempt to get back above these 200-day moving averages right here, we'll be looking this time for a price hold above 138.70 on the SPY. Then we'll be looking for it to take out today's highs around 139.25. And that's kind of the thesis and analysis that we're looking at on the SPY going into tomorrow. Let's take a look at the IWM. All right, the IWM was down today, down 45 cents. You can see here now we're starting to get some more clues here. As you can see, now that we're not able to break back inside this little downward channel that we had in play right here. Next support zone to watch on the IWM is down here near 78. And then we have a nice little gap fill that's not been filled here. That's the bottom of that gap fill window is all the way down here at 77. I'm actually going to turn this to yellow because I like to keep the gaps kind of yellow just to kind of refer to being a gap, not really a support zone. So this is a gap down here, and that comes from this little action. That comes from this little price action that took place back here in August. You can see it right there, the little gap we have right there. So that's how the IWM is looking. Now, if we take a look at the triple Qs, all right, the QQQs, again, the Qs rallied all the way kind of near yesterday's opening price. We hit a high on the Qs today of 63.58, and then we sold right back down to the lows. Again, this is not bullish activity. All right, this is bearish. Because we're in a downtrend. They shorted the rally after the stocks rallied up. They shorted it back down on the lows. So the Qs can get some more selling pressure tomorrow, all right, or going forward. And that next support level on the triple Qs is going to be around here, around 62. Where does that 62 level come from? Well, it comes from all this little support that we were carving out down here, right, before we actually broke out of that range and propelled higher. Okay, and now the fact that we're holding below that top of the range, price action should go back down towards the bottom of the range down here, towards the bottom of the gap here. You guys see that? So we still have about another dollar to the downside on the Qs, and then if we break 62, then it's a different story, and we'll have to see what happens from there. Let's take a look at the volatility index today. The VIX was pretty much flat today, down 3 cents. The volatility index did gap up, but then they sold it all the way back down. We're going to be working off the 16 level on the volatility index now, as the VIX could be in a higher base now, with 16 being the bottom of the range and this 19 level being the top of the range. Let's take a look at the dollar futures daily chart. See how the dollar futures is closed for the day. Again, dollar futures are rising up into this resistance level. Therefore, if we push up a little bit higher, which we can, as you can see in this little rising wedge, you can still push up a little bit higher. I am looking for the dollar to resolve to the downside. And if that happens, we're going to see if the market gets a bounce, which has been the play for the past couple of years now. Obviously, dollar strong, a market weak. It's been working. Stick with it. And that's why we were looking to get long the commodities and long the equity markets this morning, because we were expecting that dollar weakness to come in at 9 o'clock, which it did. All right, and we also called the GLD to the long side this morning. That trade worked out pretty well. Speaking of that, let's go ahead and take a look at the GLD. And if you guys follow me on Twitter, or if you guys follow our Wall Street trading account, you guys will be able to follow us in some of those trades as we try to post most of our trades that we post in the chat room to our group of traders on the Twitter stream. In any case, GLD had a nice little move up today, but it reversed back down towards the lows. Want to see the GLD get above this 168.50 level and hold. You can still see it's still getting rejected from this little 50-day simple moving average right here around 168.77. Let's take a look at SLV. SLV has been jumping up as well. SLV had a nice little move up today, but was not able to hold its gains. Still trying to carve out maybe a base down here, so we got to keep on watching these precious metals, as if that dollar futures chart breaks out of that little rising wedge that's in play right now, these can have a nice move in the near term. So you want to make sure you're watching these stocks. All right, let's take a look at the GDX as well, see what the GDX did today. GDX was down 56 cents. It's kind of funny because I was seeing gold rise this morning, and a couple of the mining stocks were not moving. I mean, GG took a while to start it took a while for GG to start moving with the gold to the top side. Same for Newmont Mining, for ABX. Some of the small miners are moving with the GLD pretty good, like EGO. My co-moderator partner Neil in the chat room, he actually called EGO for a long. That worked out pretty well. So you have to just pick your spots and see what works best for you and try to incorporate it into your strategy. So the GDX is still down here. As you guys know, I'm watching this little GDX at the bottom, this little slightly downward angle channel to see if it's going to get bought up at the bottom of the range, which it has been doing, or if they're going to actually break it down. If they break it down, then we could get some nice selling in the GDX all the way back down towards 46 or so. And we'll be on top of that, and we'll keep you guys posted with that as well. Make sure you're following us on Stock Twits at My Wall Street TV as well. So let's take a look at the USO here. USO daily chart. Again, this commodity stock as well. This commodity, the oil, got a bounce on the ETF on the USO. Had a nice little move up today, but then it gave back. USO trying to carve out some support around this little 31 area. We have to continue to watch this as the primary trend for the past couple weeks, for the past month or so, obviously is in the downtrend from upper left to bottom right. We call that a downtrend, my friends, as you guys know that. And right now, really until we get above these moving averages or get some type of trend change, you can catch a little bounces here and there, but at least recognize that those bounces are going to get shorted like it did right here when we got down that next day, or like we did today where they shorted the rally, or on this day they shorted the rally. So people are still looking to short some of these commodity stocks on the bounce, but I think that could change once that dollar starts to reverse down a bit, which we need some more clues for that to happen. But, you always want to make sure you have your scenarios kind of planned out so you can react. And that's what we did this morning, guys. We reacted. We also called Baidu to the short side. Let's go ahead and start taking a look at some stocks now so I don't make this video too long. Take a look at Baidu, weak stock today. All right, got crushed today. We called this out in the chat room to the T. All right, short Baidu at 103. Why? Because it was not participating with the market rally. It was actually trading in a tight range. We got short Baidu at 103. We covered some at 100, which was we covered some right here, and our target was 100. Look, it went all the way down to 98.57, ladies and gentlemen. All right, that was an awesome call that I called out in the chat room. That even a lot of people that follow me on Twitter were saying, "Hey, that's a good call you made out there." In any case, let's take a look at Apple. All right, a lot of people trying to buy Apple. I actually was able to scalp some Apple weekly call options on the 540 strikes this morning. Actually, the 545 strikes this morning. Made a couple bucks on that. But Apple still remains, a weak stock in a downtrend. And until it kind of carves out a little base right here, I wouldn't be looking to really buy Apple. And then really, until it gets above 570, I wouldn't be too much interested in looking at Apple because they're probably going to be shorting all the rallies that are below 570. It needs to get above 570. That was a major level that Apple broke when it broke that level there. Hence the volume that came in that day and the following day. All right. Let's take a look at some of these other big cap movers here. Amazon. Amazon's a little bit interesting because it's at this key area, this little level right here. If Amazon can maybe chop around and hold this 225 level a bit, we can maybe get a nice little topside trade. One thing that I'm watching is this little downward trend line that you can see that's going to be coming into effect there. So if we could consolidate, trade a little bit sideways, maybe next week this thing could pop up and give us a nice little trade to make some cash for this holiday season. And that's about it, guys. I mean, I do have a lot of stuff I could go over, but I want to make this video short. I already kind of made it longer than I wanted to. Hope you guys enjoyed the analysis. If you have not been to our website yet and you want access to our chat room, make sure you go to wallstreettrading.com, fill out the form on the right-hand side, and you'll get an email with a 14-day free trial. If you're interested in learning about prop trading or joining a prop firm that has low rates compared to the other firms out there, make sure you give me a shout. You can email me at ccooper@wallstreettrading.com. And if you have a trading group, we have group rates as well. And that's really about it, guys. Today was a great day, and hope you guys had a great day. And I'll catch you guys bright and early tomorrow at 8:15 in the chat room. Have a good night, guys.